Welcome back to the channel. So on today's tutorial I'll be showing you how I made this skirt with gathers or bottom ruffles. Please like, subscribe and share, and also leave a comment on what you think on this tutorial. Thank you so much. So let's get down to today's tutorial. So for this skirt you will need about 2 yards or 2.5 yards of fabric and also a zipper. So first thing first, I'm just gonna take my pattern paper here. I'll make a straight line like this. So this straight line will be my waistline, and then I'm just going to use it to measure all the horizontal lines. So if you can check, I'm starting to measure from 1 inch there. So the 1 inch that I left above the starting line is for the waistband. So from the waistline I'm gonna go down here by 8 inches. So there I am marking 8 inches, and then I'll just make a straight line like this, and this one is for my hip line. So for this skirt, this is the only line vertical measurements that you're gonna need. And then so I will come here on the waistline. I will take my waist circumference divided by 4, make a mark, and then I will also come here by on the hip line. I will take my hip circumference divided by 4, and then from there I will just join the points together like so. So with that being done, what I'm going to do now is, initially I started going down by about, I think, 6 inches. So I also changed, and then I went down by 4 inches here, and then I made a point. So at first I went down by 6 inches, and then I decided to only just go down by 4 inches. So I will come here on the hip line, and then I will just go down by 4 inches. Then from there I will just join these 2 points together like so. So I'm just going to take my straight ruler and then just make a straight line to join the 2 points together. So that's it. This is the front part of the dress, of the skirt I mean. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to be cutting out right here. So that's it. So this is the pattern for my front part of the skirt. So what I'm doing here now is I'm just taking my fabric and then place it on fold, and then after placing it on fold, what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna be cutting out the front part first. After cutting out the front part first, then I will cut out the back. So on the back part I'm just only going to add the zipper allowance. So as you can see here, I'm adding 0.5 for the joining allowance, and also on the sides. On the side I went out by 1 inch. So with that being done, I will come here again as I explained for the zipper allowance. So I'm just gonna pin down my fabric like this. I will take my tape measure. I will just mark about 1 inch or 1.5 inch. This is for the zipper allowance. So that's me just making the mark where I marked 1 inch. So I'm just gonna make a straight line like this. So after doing that, I will take my front piece and then I will place it on the line that I made there. So I'm just gonna pin everything down here so I can be able to cut it. So once I'm done cutting here, I will just come and open this part here. So in the end I will have 2 pieces for the back and then 1 piece for the front. So well, that's it. So if you want to insert a lining, you can insert a lining, it's okay. Just cut out the exact way that I'm doing right now. So once I'm done with that, I'm just gonna join this part here where I'm going to insert my zipper. So I just folded in and then just made a loose stitch, and then I ironed. That's why you can see that it's a little bit flat nyana. So with that being done, what I'm gonna do now is I'll place this aside, and then I will take the front piece here like this on this front part here. So I'm just gonna take my tape measure here, and then I just measure what I have here on the bottom part of this skirt right here. So I'm just gonna measure here So when I measured mine, I got about 29 inches. So I'm going to take the 29 inches and multiply it by 3. So here it only depends on how full you want your gathers to, your ruffles to be. So I'm going to take my tape measure here, and then I will place it on the waistline, and then I will just exclude the 1 inch for the waistband. And then if you check here, my tape measure ended on 13 inches, and I want my full length of this skirt to be 20 inches. So from the 13 inches, when I count those inches that are down there up to 20 inches, I got about 7 inches. So it means that my ruffle fabric will be 87 inches long and then 7 inches wide. And guys, you're just gonna be cutting this fabric for the front and the back piece. So the 87 inches is for the front part, and then you will cut other 87 inches piece for the ruffles for the back part. So here you just have to measure the full length that you want, and then the remaining inches is gonna be the length of the ruffles or the gathers part. So this is it. So I have my fabric here, which is 87 inches long. So I'm going to make the gathers here, and which will help me bring it back to 29 inches. So I'm just going to be doing this for the front and the back piece. So if you see here, I have two pieces which they all have gathers. So I'm just measuring here now so I can make sure that I have the 29 inches that I need from the front and also for the back piece. So these are my two pieces for the ruffles. So I'm just gonna be joining the back. I'm just gonna be joining the gathers part on the back piece like this, and then I'll also do the same for the front piece. So just make sure that you gather everything together, and then you align everything together before you make a stitch. So you can just use pins to secure everything together down. So this is the back. I'm going to make a stitch right here to join everything together, and then I will also do the same for the front. You can also tell me how you think about this tutorial on the comment section. If you haven't subscribed, please like, subscribe, and also share this tutorial. So this is it. So I'm done joining these pieces together. This is what I have. This is the front and this is the back piece. So now I'm just going to be taking these pieces together, and then I'll just iron so you make sure that the gathers are well placed. Now I'm going to put aside the back piece. I will take the front piece here, and then I'll just fold it in like this. So I'm just going to fold it in like this. So the reason why I'm doing this step is just to make sure that I make a little bit of a curve on the front part of this skirt. So here on the middle part, I'm just going to go in by 1 inch. I'm going to go down by 1 inch, and then I will just take a curve to the corner I have there on the waist. So this step that I'm doing just here is just to make sure that the front piece on the waistline, it's a little bit curved. So as you can see, it's no longer straight, it's a little bit curved. So this is exactly what you will have to do. So then I will take the back piece, and then after taking the back piece, I will place it on the front piece, right side facing each other. So remember, on the waistline, I took the round waist measurement and then divided by 4. So I'm just gonna be using the allowance, the joint allowance that I have here on the back zip, and then I will just mark about 7.5 inches, which is for my waist allowance. So here I'm just taking my waist measurements. So if you check, I'm making a point there for my waist measurement, and then I'm just gonna be curving it like this just to join the points together straight to what I have on the on the gathers part. So I'm just gonna be joining the sides together this way down from the waist down to the bottom part of the skirt. So I'm just gonna be joining the sides together. So this is it. I've joined the sides together. This is how it looks. So you can see that the front piece, it has a little bit of a curve on the front. So now what I will do is I'll turn this inside out, and you will see that the only thing that I'm left to do in this skirt is to insert the zipper, the waistband, and also hem the bottom part, and then I'll be done. So I will come here on the back part where I'm going to insert my zipper. So I'm just gonna open up the seams here. So remember, I made a loose stitch, so I'm just gonna open up this seam right here. I already cut out my waistband, so the width of my waistband I measured 2 inches, and then the length of my waistband I took my round waist measurements and then added 2 inches. The reason why I added 2 inches is because I have this the 1 inch part I have there for the zipper, and the width of the reason why I measured 2 inches of on the width here is because I don't want my waistband to be too thick or too big. So that's why I measured 2 inches. When I folded it, it brought me back to 1 inch. So this is what I'm gonna be doing. I didn't add any sewing allowance on the waistband. So I'm just gonna be pinning everything down here like this, and then after doing that, I'm just gonna make a stitch to join the skirt to the waistband. And while I'm doing that, I will also attach the zipper, and then that will be it for today's tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, and that's it for today's tutorial. Please like, subscribe, and also share. Leave a comment, and I will see you on the next tutorial. Thank you so much for watching.